Okay.
Well, good afternoon, Musquodoboit Harbour. How's everybody doing? Well, I can't tell you how excited I am to be here today. And I took about like 10 extra minutes coming through the crowd on tour. I'm sure whoever the wagon master is sour at me, but it's because there's so many people that I've had the chance to meet. I came out to celebrate an amazing, amazing visitor here, the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney. And before I take a moment to introduce the man of the hour, I don't know if you guys saw, but I made a little news this morning myself. I can tell you, having made the decision previously to step away from politics, to spend some more time with my family is as sincere a commitment as I could make. And I've taken Mark at his word that we're going to work together to make sure that people can actually serve in Parliament and still be good parents and family members. This is an important change. But the times call for people to step up. This is our elbows up moment, folks. There is an opportunity here to do the right thing for the country that we all call home. This is the time that we need to actually rise to the occasion and tell bullies around the world that we won't be pushed around. We want to build the strongest economy in the G7. We have an opportunity to create meaningful work for people to bring paychecks home to keep food on the table for their families. And it is hard to think of something more important than making sure that people have the basics covered. Now, I can tell you the reason that I'm jumping back into the race is not just because of the threat that Donald Trump presents to our economy, but because we have the person to defend Canada's interests that is more equipped, more experienced than just about anybody else in the world. We have a Prime Minister who has served as the Governor of the Bank of Canada. He was so good at it that they invited him to take the job over in the UK. This is a guy who is literally one of the most respected voices on economic issues anywhere in the world, and somebody who has defended Canada's interests during the global financial crisis. Somebody who knows what it's like to stand up for an economy against forces that are trying to pull away from existing trading relationships. We have the right guy for the right time up against the wrong guy at the worst time. I'm telling you folks, it is my honor and privilege to be reoffering as a candidate for Central Nova, and it is my honor and privilege to be here as the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney.
All right. I tell you, it is better to be born lucky, and I've been born lucky. I get right here with Sean Fraser. Unbelievable. I start all my talks, and I ask a question. Who's ready? Who is ready? Who is ready to stand up for Canada? 100%. Who is ready to help the Liberal Party win the most consequential election? This room is ready. Sean Fraser is ready. And I want to just say a few words about Sean, the situation, what it says about him as an individual, what it says about his family, what it says about our country, what it says about all of us, I think. And, you know, I got to know Sean over the course of the last year, and I knew in the fall that he'd taken the tough decision, right decision, to spend more time with his family after almost a decade in federal politics. And I regretted that decision because I thought I would be serving at some point, but I respected it. And then after Sean announced, and then events played out, and I put my hand up for the leadership, Sean backed me for the leadership. I respected that decision, I'll tell you that. And it looks like Sean did not regret. That is the good news. But in the intervening time, things changed. You know, when Sean made his decision, we did not yet have President Trump. It was announced after his election, but we didn't yet have President Trump. And even when we first had President Trump, we didn't have these tariffs on and off and the bigger threats and then the threats to our sovereignty. And that put all of us in the position where we had to think about how to answer that question. How do we stand up for Canada? And good people across Canada are standing up in lots of different ways. You know, buying Canadian, cheering for our hockey team, getting the elbows up, letting the Americans who have been our friends and, you know, in many cases neighbors up here, letting them know that there's a problem and we want respect and we want things to go back to something like where they were before. But there's some who can do more. Some of our business people, our labor leaders, and our political figures. And Sean, to his great credit, has put his hand up at a challenging time, incredibly challenging time. And folks, it will make a huge difference to the quality of the government, the strength of our response, and what a great country that we will have. So Sean, I want to thank you again, and I want to thank you so much. I want to make one other point, which is sort of political but personal point. You know, we're all in this together. And since we're all in this together, we want different types of people around the cabinet table, different types of people in Parliament. I don't have a young family anymore. I have four children. Youngest is first year of university, so the others are, you know, grown up, and I can work 24/7, and I can fly around, and I can do things relentlessly, work, and that's my nature, and that's what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing, and that's what I'll do as long as I'm Prime Minister. 100%. But just like you don't want only having lawyers around the table, or all due respect, right? You just don't want to have lawyers around the table, or, you know, other professions. You don't want people like me 24/7, 100%, all the time, always on a plane, always on the phone, doing that. You want people with young families, like Sean has. You want people with balance in their life. You want doctors like Lynette Powell, a new doctor, put her hand up in Labrador, running in Gander. I was with her yesterday. You want business people. There's a guy named Tim Hodgson who worked in business a number of years, most recently ran the big electric utility in Ontario, place where he decided that they would make sure that all their investments had Indigenous participation alongside and made it a reality. He's put his hand up to run because of the time in our country. You want des défenseurs de la justice sociale, comme Nathalie Pronovost à Montréal. Nathalie Pronovost, who, out of the tragedy of the shootings at Concordia, became a social justice activist, and she's put her hand up and she's running with us. You want all of that diversity, the diversity of our country, because we are all in it together. We're all going to bring ourselves, but we're going to bring balance, and we're going to win. We are going to win. We're going to win this election. And as I said a couple weeks ago, you know, we didn't start this fight, but when someone drops the gloves, Canadians know what to do. We will win this fight. Sean Fraser and Tony Tapp. So thank you for having me. Sean, thank you for stepping up. Sean's family, thank you for giving up a bit of Sean, but not all of Sean, because that's what's important, because he keeps grounded right here, the greatest place in the world. Thank you very much.